I'm Rose Strumlau, and I'm an assistant professor of history and American Indian Studies, and I'm one of the two faculty members teaching HSTS AIS 4320, which is a comparative course on the history of American Indian boarding schools and First Nations residential schools.
And my name is Jane Halliday. I'm an assistant professor in American Indian Studies, also team teaching with Dr. Strumlau. And we wanted to tell you a little bit about the purpose of this particular interactive video course. We began an international exchange, the American Indian Studies Department here at UNCP, with the University College of the North, their Northern and Aboriginal Studies program. That program has been in place for about 2 years. Mm-hmm. So this course that we're teaching this semester is one element of the course. We have sent some of our students up to Northern Manitoba last summer. We're having some of the students come to Pembroke this semester. So this course is part of that project. So I was awarded a grant from the Canadian government to develop the curriculum for this course. The grant stipulation required that we include some Canadian content in the course, so that's why we did this comparative course on residential and American Indian boarding school experience. And we decided to offer the class not only to our students at UNCP, but also to the students in Canada, so the interactive video was the way to do that. So that's sort of the background. As far as making it happen, I knew that faculty in American Indian Studies, Dr. Oxendine, who has retired, Linda Oxendine, had been doing videocast course with another faculty member at UNC Charlotte, so I knew we had that technology, but at that time the classrooms didn't have the technologies. People had to come to the center here to have those courses. So when we heard about the technologies in the specific classrooms, we decided to book one of those classrooms, and the wonderful administrative support person in history, Janet, set that up for us. So that was very easy, and we started our course.
And we've been meeting, this now is being filmed in the end of March, and we've been meeting since the beginning of January with our colleagues up in Canada. And the courses work. We have a Tuesday, Thursday class schedule, and we've met with our Canadian colleagues, not every class, but probably about every other class. And both groups of students, our folks down here, there are folks up there, are reading the same books, and we're meeting for shared discussions of those readings, but we're also sharing presentations that the students are doing with each other.
And guest speakers as well.
And guest speakers. The technology actually has been more successful than I think either Dr. Halliday or I anticipated. And speaking for myself, I can say this because I'm a very technologically impaired person. So thinking about this class from last semester, December, looking into January, wondering, if I'm the person who can't figure out how to turn my Xbox on at home, am I really going to be able to figure out how to make this class happen? And the staff here has been incredibly supportive. And so we've actually, I think, looked remarkably composed and together because we've actually had very little technological work to do on this.
And that was something neither of us fully understood at the beginning of the course. We thought we would have to have some kind of training and actually run the technology ourselves, which was a little intimidating to both of us. But when we walked into our class that first day and Mike was there and he said, "No, you just teach. We're doing all the tech. We're in the classroom the whole time." We were ecstatic. So that's been very helpful.
Absolutely ecstatic. And I think it's been successful not only from our perspective, but from that of our students. Looking back now, I think the one thing I would do differently in preparing our students is helping them to understand maybe a little bit about the time lag in communication so that the initial conversations might not feel as awkward or slow. But that's certainly something that we've developed with our learning curve in this technology. But besides that, maybe taking a few class periods for folks to feel comfortable speaking to their colleagues in Canada, this has gone remarkably well and incredibly smoothly. And I think the benefit of this is that our students here have had an opportunity to learn a particular body of literature with another group of students who have a very different perspective on it, in part because of their history and culture, but also from the perspectives they're bringing as non-traditional students up in a First Nations and Métis community in Canada. For many of our students who are here in AIS at UNCP, they might not have the experience to actually participate in a study abroad program and travel. And this is because they're often students who are older, working full-time jobs, have family commitments. And so this course has enabled us to incorporate students in a study abroad program that otherwise might not have that chance. And in this way, it's been useful in developing this program. As Dr. Halliday said, our international program in AIS is only 2 years old, and the ability to offer these kinds of courses is essential because travel is limited, not just because there's only so many of us and there's only so many students who can do it, but there's only so much money. Offering these kind of courses regularly is a very doable thing, and we anticipate doing this regularly.
Yes.
There's more faculty here at Pembroke who are interested, there's more faculty up there who are interested, and so really the options for us at this point as far as these courses are unlimited, and that's exciting for our students because that means that anyone who graduates with an AIS major or minor from UNCP is going to have had an experience with this program, not just those folks who can travel up to Canada, which hopefully many can do, and this actually might entice more of them to want to do that because they already know people up there, they already feel comfortable with some of the relationships that they've developed with the students they've met throughout this class.
And that's something I wanted to add that surprised me actually about this format, because you know sometimes you can't see people 100% clearly on the screens, etc. Sometimes people say, say that again, you know, depending on where the miking is. So there's these technical glitches, but despite that, our students have really bonded across this distance with this other group. And when our class starts up and the students in Canada are there, there's always a couple students who say, "Hello, North Carolina," and it's very friendly, and we're really pleased about that. And I sort of didn't anticipate that feeling through the interactive video. So that's another thing that I really appreciate about the course.
And I think that has been one of the great successes of this, is that when you're teaching a course like this, you're concerned about having positive relationships in the classroom because you want to foster discussion, not only among the students within your class at UNCP, but I think the question was, how are we going to create that warm but stimulating dynamic with a classroom thousands of miles away? And it's really been possible. We've had discussions that have been wonderful. Students have continued their discussions on Facebook, which has also been a great complement to this technology. And I truly think that the ultimate success of this class is that students will continue to talk to each other when it's all said and done. And that is something that this technology has enabled us to accomplish that I don't know that any other technology could have.